Day three, everybody, of this video challenge. And today we are talking about healthy breathing. Thank you so much for your comments on yesterday's video. I noticed that the thing that resonated the most was the analogy I made between the breath being like wind in the body and helping to really move the heavier emotions or to amplify the light emotions, and it being similar to the element of air and the wind that exists on our planet. If you'd like to know more about that, you'll need to go and listen to yesterday's update. So for today, healthy breathing. I've got two key things I want to talk about today in healthy breathing, keeping it simple. There's so many things I could talk about, but these are the easiest. When I work with any client, whether that's in leadership coaching, in life coaching, and of course in breathwork coaching, I get really curious about how people breathe. The first thing I ask them is, how do you breathe? And the response I get is, I breathe. Are you breathing into the chest or are you breathing into the belly? Better question. So what I ask people to do to get in tune with that is to say one hand on your chest, one hand on your belly, and take a normal breath in. And let's do it again. And I ask them to notice which hand raises first. Sadly, many of my clients say to me, the chest. And they say it like that because they realize that that's probably not a good thing. And the reason why it isn't good for us is because we have these sensors in our chest, which when we breathe in through the chest or into the chest area, it activates the sympathetic nervous system. Now that happens whether we breathe into the belly or whether we breathe into the chest. But when we breathe into the chest, we tend to be shallow breathers. We're taking more breaths than we need to. So we're really amplifying that sympathetic nervous system, which puts us into a state of fight and flight, or what we call the stress state. Nobody wants to be in a stress state all the time. So it's really important that you really breathe deeply into the belly so that you get a full, good exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide with a single breath, rather than having to make up for it with a lot of shallow breaths. So that's the first thing. The other thing I'll say to them is, do you breathe in through the nose or do you breathe in through the mouth? And again, sometimes a light bulb goes off and people say, I breathe in through the nose. Actually, is the one I get most of the time, which is great. But I'm going to share something. I'm going to out myself again, and I'm going to do this a lot in this series. I was an unconscious mouth breather, meaning that I didn't even know I was breathing through the mouth until I discovered that I was breathing through the mouth. And it wasn't like I was walking around town like this. It wasn't like that. It was just more that I would be walking around and I would notice that I was breathing in through the mouth. And it really made me think that problems that I'm having in my exercise and my physical routines were really a result of me not taking in more oxygen through the nose. And the reason why is because this really important gas called nitric oxide. And when I started breathing through the nose, people said to me, oh my God, you look amazing. Have you lost weight? Are you going to the gym? Taking some new vitamins or skincare? What's going on? I can tell you, I was taking vitamin N-O. Nitric oxide is so important, and we only get it if we breathe in through the nose. If we breathe in through the mouth, it means we're really inefficient with our breathing, same as breathing shallow breaths through the chest, but it means we're also taking in all of the pollutants without any filtration. Because the nose filters the air, as we all know, it warms the air, prepares it for a better exchange, but that nitric oxide is the real differentiator. So yeah, vitamin No is what I was taking, and it made a massive difference in my physicality and how I showed up. If you find that you're a conscious or unconscious mouth breather, you can take these strips. They're from Somnifix. And you can see it's a plastic strip and it's got this little slit here just across there. You can just see the shadow of it there. And at night, you can put this over your lips and it creates a small space for you to breathe, but it trains you to breathe better through the nose. Now, some people find it works. Other people find that it's not good for them. I found it a really useful tool to help me get used to breathing through the nose on a more regular basis. Give it a try. Maybe it'll work for you. So there's two really important things I wanted to talk to you today. Become a belly breather. Let that belly hang out with these deep diaphragmatic breaths and breathe through the nose and not through the mouth. Now, tomorrow, another short update. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's not going to be related to breath or breathing necessarily, because I know that I do so much more than that. So stay tuned for tomorrow's update, and I can't wait to see you then.